Hello viewers, today we'll be talking about the services which libraries offer to support their students, research scholars and teachers in their information and academic needs. The presentation will cover the collection which the libraries offer, books, journals, e-journals and online databases, some basic services, information desk, web OPAC, circulation services, interlibrary loan, photocopying, user education or orientation programs, anti-plagiarism tools, lockers. Usually what happens is that libraries are attached to some educational institution or educational body, like we have a school library, then basically it is attached to a school. If we have a college library, it is attached to a college. In case it is a university library, that means it is attached to a university. And usually all these libraries, they have their own websites, that means they are present on internet. You can visit the websites of different libraries and find out what collections are being offered, what are the special services which they offer. Usually all the libraries have their own websites. For example, this is a website, the screenshot of Jawaharlal Nehru University Library. It shows all the features, all the facilities which the library offers. It shows what are the collections which are available in Jawaharlal Nehru University Library, the different services which are being offered by the library. So your websites, if you want to know about the services and collections of a particular library, it's in the fitness of things, it's advisable to visit its website. In any library, when you enter it, you will find an information desk. Information desk, it attends to the queries, to the different queries which the users may have. For example, directional assistance. If a user is visiting library for the first time, he may not know the exact location of different sections, or he may not know what are the exact service points. So here such concerns or such queries are attended to. Then at information desk, referral services are offered to the readers. Reference services are offered at this information desk. For example, reference services are basically offered so that the library can ensure optimum use of the resources which it offers. It helps the users in telling them, in making them aware how to use various collections, how to use OPAC. For example, if a user visits the library, he may not be able to use, he may not know how to use OPAC, he may not know how to download content or full text from online databases. So he can approach the information desk and his concern or his query will be attended to at information desk. Circulation services. This is another service which a library offers, right from school library to university library or any college library. Usually libraries they procure different kinds of documents. They procure books, journals, theses and dissertations, newspapers, magazines, and they are all processed and organized and displayed for users to use. So this circulation service or this circulation section is responsible for providing or for bringing all these documents into use. The circulation section, as the term indicates, it is responsible for circulating the documents among the users. So the basic purpose of circulation services, or it is also known as circulation section or circulation desk, it acts as a link, it acts as a bridge between the documents and the users. And at this circulation desk or circulation counter or circulation section, users are registered, they are given library ID card, and let me show you one library ID card. This is a library ID card which a library offers. You can see the barcoded lines over here and it has all the details of a user. So this is a library card which usually the circulation section offers to its registered members. And this library card has all the details of the users, the various borrowing privileges to which he or she is entitled. it's all stored, all the information is available in this card through barcode. Then it has certain rules and procedures which are to be followed. That means books, reference books and material, they are not checked out, they are not issued, and many other rules are there too. Then another service which a library offers is online public access catalog, which is known as OPAC. That means it shows all the details, it shows all the details of the books, all the documents which are available in the library. It provides all the details, it provides the number of books which are available, the number of newspapers which are there, the number of serials which are being subscribed by the library. And it not only provides the details of the collections which are being held by a library, but it also tells the user whether a particular document is issued or it is still there on the shelves. So a user can easily key in and find out the location of a particular document through this OPAC, and he can also know whether the book is issued to somebody or not. It also tells the location, whether a particular book is available, on which floor. All these details are available through online public access catalog. This screenshot shows the OPAC of Jawaharlal Nehru University Library. You can easily find out by keying in. If you do not know the author, you can easily key in the subject of your interest and you will easily know what are the documents available, the number of documents available, and what are the different formats. For example, if you key in a word like corruption, the system or the OPAC system will show you the number of books which are dealing with corruption, the number of serials which you can see on the left hand side on the screen. It shows the number of documents, the number of theses which are there with regard to particular topic. And OPAC, web OPAC is something which is available online. That means by sitting anywhere, even if you are in any nook or corner of the world, you can easily consult web OPAC of Jawaharlal Nehru University Library in order to find out the documents of your interest, whether they are available in the library or not. Then what other information it shows? Online databases of the collections held by the library. OPAC it's an online database of the collections held by the library. Searching the OPAC enables the users to find out the availability, location of the item. You can search and refine your search easily by type of documents, format of documents, and category of documents. For example, as the previous slide showed, that on the left hand side you can easily see type of documents or format of documents. So if you are interested in just having access, or if you are just interested in retrieving the thesis which are available on say corruption, so you can just refine your search by choosing the type of document or format of document, and you will easily get whatever you require. Then this is the collection. Library procures various documents, like they procure and acquire books, journals. Journals may be in print form, or whenever journals are available in print form, they usually display the list of the journals. Libraries usually display the list of their journals on the websites. Libraries may subscribe newspapers and magazines, e-books and e-journals. So all the details of the various books and journals and newspapers and magazines, e-books and e-journals are usually provided, they are listed on the website. Journals, this screenshot shows the current issues of the journals. They are kept on display for the users to access so that they can know what latest has come in their field of interest. And these online and these current issues of journals, they are not issued. They are to be consulted, they are to be browsed within the four walls of the library. Then organization of the collection. Libraries procure different books, journals. They have to be processed and organized in a proper manner before they are put to use by the users. So generally books are arranged according to DDC classification in libraries, and that means books are classified using DDC and they are arranged in a classified manner. That means books on a particular subject, they are put together, they are arranged together, they are shelved together. While bound journals, they are shelved in an alphabetical manner. So this is how collection is organized. Books are arranged in a classified manner, and journals, they are arranged in an alphabetical sequence. So books are arranged in classified manner, print books, and journals are arranged in alphabetical manner. That is all about print collection. But besides the print collection, libraries nowadays also subscribe to various online resources. Online resources may be databases, they may be e-journals, e-books, newspapers, and libraries may develop their own institutional repositories where they may organize and display the various journal articles or the various publications which their faculty members or which their staff have published. Since libraries do subscribe to various online resources, these online resources can be accessed in the following manner. IP based access. The users can access the online resources within the campus with their unique ID and password. For the resources which are available on the IP, users are generally given a unique ID and password, and they have to be present within the campus in order to use them. And remote access, users can access online resources even when they are away from the campus. And this facility is known as remote access. This is the facility which enables the students, researchers and teachers to log into or connect to the library network from a distant location. That means while they are off campus, even then they can access online resources. Even when they are from a distant location, and they can access the resources. This is the screenshot of the remote access facility which Jawaharlal Nehru University Library offers. Users are given single username and password, and by using that single username and password, they can access all the resources which the university library subscribes to. This facility is also known as single sign-on facility. That means by using a single username and password, you can you can browse n number of databases which the library subscribes. Electronic access, since users can access any time they feel they want to, whenever the need arises. That means all online resources can be accessed 24/7. This remote access facility or this single sign-on facility facilitates electronic access 24/7. Web discovery tools. Web discovery tools facilitate quick and seamless search access across vast range of local and remote access. One of the example is EBSCO Discovery Service, which Jawaharlal Nehru University Library subscribes to. That means a library subscribes to various databases, online journals, databases which are being published, which are being offered by different publishers and vendors. So what happens? Through a single search, a user need not log into various databases at different times and then extract information and log out and then again log into another database. This facility of web scale discovery tool, it means that through a single search interface, you can search across n number of databases which library subscribes to. Then interlibrary loan. This facility facilitates that a user may use the resources of his own library. At the same time, he is free, he is entitled to use resources of another library. For example, if a user finds out that a book which he needs is not there in his library, then what he needs to do is that he needs to submit the details, the bibliographical details of the book which he needs at the interlibrary loan counter of the library. Then under this facility, library will try to find out if the book is available in any other library in the vicinity, in the nearby areas, and library will ensure and procure that book from other library and will offer the student. So under this interlibrary loan, student is free to, in fact, he has wider access. He has access to the resources of his library, he has access to the books of his library, and at the same time he can use the books of another library. In case he finds a particular book which is not there in library, he can request his library, and his library will try to find it out and will try to procure it from some other library. User education or orientation program. Under user education, libraries are usually conducting user education or orientation sessions regularly. When the session begins, for the new students, they tell the new students what are the different services, what are the different collections which the library has for them, so that students know it. It has been observed that students generally do not know. So user education or orientation sessions are very important for providing them awareness, for making them aware that about the different facilities, about the different collections, about the rules and regulations of the libraries. This is done under user education. And when a library subscribes to some new database, so it conducts user education or orientation program. It teaches, the library staff teaches the students what about the content, coverage, what are the special facilities which a database offers, how can they be used, how the database has to be used, what are the special features which the database has. So this has to be communicated. Students have to be educated, then only they will be able to use any new database or any new facility which the library deploys, and this is done under user education or orientation programs. Then any library, whether it is school library or college library or university libraries, they not only offer books and documents, but they also facilitate, they also offer a robust computing infrastructure. They have earmarked spaces for students where they have installed where they install different computer workstations where students can come and access online resources, OPAC of the library, and they can access online resources, can retrieve information, can download full text. All these can be done on the computer workstations which the library offers to the students. Assistive technology. Libraries these days, their mission is to provide equitable information to one and all. And under this, they offer technologies, they offer help to the visually challenged students or differently abled students, where the students can come and access online resources, they can come and access or interact with the computer. So here we have special softwares. They have a section which is known as Assistive Technologies Center, where they've installed computers or workstations which have specialized software like Kurzweil or JAWS. All these specialized software, they help the visually challenged students in accessing online resources and in using the computers or the workstations as well. This screenshot shows the facility, the Assistive Technologies facility, which is being offered by Jawaharlal Nehru University Library. We have a center, we have a different unit which is known as Helen Keller unit. We have installed 20 computers over there. All these 20 computers are loaded with specialized software like Kurzweil and JAWS. Specialized like Kurzweil software, what it does, it changes the text into audio files so that the children or the students who are visually challenged, they can hear, they can listen to the audio files. And the JAWS, it helps the students in using the computers. Then we have special softwares like Magic, which magnifies the screen from 10 to 36 times, so the students who are partially sighted, they can make use of all these specialized software, and they are independent, they can attend to their information needs by themselves. Libraries also offer anti-plagiarism tools. The students can use, they are asked to submit term papers and they can use them, they can run their term papers through these software or through these tools in order to find out if they have copied or if from somewhere unknowingly, and if they have not given proper references. It also helps the teachers in giving proper feedback on the term papers which their students submit. this screenshot shows the use of Turnitin, which is an anti-plagiarism tool which the libraries offer. And this tool also has e-rater, which helps the students in checking the language of their term papers. And this is another facility which libraries offer, like photocopying, where usually students can get their material or any full text which they want can take a photocopy from this section against a nominal payment. Then research scholars are also provided lockers where they can keep their personal belongings and lock them. Libraries have their own rules and regulations which students or the research scholars or the users of the system are expected to follow. Then merely providing services or merely providing collections is not enough. Feedback or evaluation is very important. Suggestions are ever welcome to improve the library and its services. So, since libraries don't provide services just for the sake of providing, but they do it in order to cater to the needs of the students in a very satisfactory manner. So, from time to time, periodical feedback from users is collected, and in the light of the suggestions which they offer, services are customized, services are changed, services are modified. So viewers, we have talked about the basic library services which usually school libraries or college libraries offer. And we have talked about the collections which they keep in order to cater to the information needs of their clientele, the services which they offer, and the reading rooms, because this is also very common facility which all the libraries offer, which is that of reading rooms, but it's very important for the users because libraries aim to provide a congenial atmosphere for the users, for the students to sit and read for long hours, and they do it, they offer this facility by offering well ventilated, well lit reading rooms. And they also offer computing infrastructure where computer workstations are installed and the users can walk in and use them for accessing OPAC, for accessing online resources which the library subscribes. Thank you very much for watching my video.